I never imagined the abyss awaiting me. In AetherCorp's Nevada data vault, bathed in the sterile hum of fluorescent lights, my heart thundered as alarms tore through the silence like a predator's cry. I, Thorne, CEO of a neural tech empire woven from dreams and code, stood frozen, my eyes glued to screens where data surged in chaotic torrents, threatening to obliterate our legacy. Maria, our unyielding strategist, Jax, a former NSA cyber virtuoso, and Leo, a 6-year-old whose instincts defied his age, huddled close, their breaths jagged in the stifling air. Serena, my fiancée, had just activated a kill switch, her betrayal a blade twisting in my chest. The vault's steel walls seemed to constrict, heavy with the acrid scent of deceit, like soil churned by a desert storm. How had I trusted her so blindly? My mind raced, replaying every moment of our shared years, searching for cracks I'd ignored. The desert night beyond the vault's reinforced glass pulsed with secrets, its stars cold sentinels bearing witness to our unraveling. Each beep of the consoles felt like a countdown to oblivion, and I wondered if we'd ever escape this digital maelstrom. Leo's gaze burned with unnatural clarity. He sprinted to a console, his small hands a whirlwind across the keys, moving with a precision that seemed to channel the universe itself. With uncanny skill, he rewrote the self-destruct sequence, transforming it into a global broadcast that laid bare Serena's treachery. Screens erupted with evidence, encrypted transactions, covert communications linking her to my uncle Damian, the shadow behind AetherCorp's ruin. I watched, heart pounding, as truth flooded the digital ether, each bite a defiance of her plot. The vault, once a sanctuary of innovation, now felt like a battlefield where trust had been slaughtered. My hands trembled, not from fear but from the weight of realization. Serena's betrayal was merely the surface of a deeper conspiracy. The air grew thicker, as if the desert itself exhaled warnings. Leo's tiny frame stood defiant, a beacon in the chaos. His actions a reminder that even the smallest among us could shift the tides. I clung to that hope, though the vastness of what we faced loomed like a mountain under starlight, its peak hidden in shadow. Awestruck, I stood as the world absorbed Serena's exposed deceit. The vault's sterile glow now felt like a crucible, forging our resolve in the fire of truth. How had I missed the venom in her smile? The stars outside whispered through the glass, their ancient light weaving a prophecy. You've plunged into a labyrinth far grander than you grasp. Each fragment of revealed truth was a stone hurled against a colossus, yet the conspiracy's depth stretched beyond my sight. Maria's steady gaze anchored me. Jax's fingers twitched for the next fight, and Leo's quiet hum of focus grounded us all. The broadcast reach spread like wildfire, but I sensed this was only the opening gambit. Damian's shadow loomed larger, his motives tangled in motives I couldn't yet unravel. The desert's silence roared in my ears, a reminder of nature's indifference to our struggles. We had won a battle, but the war's true shape was only beginning to emerge, its contours vast and unforgiving, like the endless sands beyond. Months before the Nevada vault's chaos, I stood in AetherCorp's Silicon Valley penthouse office, the Pacific's distant shimmer of faint promise beyond the glass. I'm Thorne, a neural tech pioneer who clawed from obscurity to helm a company reshaping human consciousness. Raised in Oregon's pine-shadowed hills, I learned resilience from a father who carved furniture by hand and a mother who wove stories from starlight. Their deaths in a car crash when I was 16 left me adrift. My only anchor vowed to build something enduring. Now, at 40, I lead AetherCorp, a beacon of innovation, yet my world feels brittle. My brother Victor, our CFO, drifts in ambition's haze. My uncle Damian, a reclusive investor, cast a long shadow. Serena, my fiancée, once my confidant, now guards her thoughts like locked code. My office, with its sleek chrome and holographic displays, contrasts starkly with the small Portland workshop where I first sketched neural algorithms. That world, manual, grounded, taught me trust. This one, all glass and data, breeds doubt. The redwoods beyond the valley whisper of permanence, but I sense a storm brewing in AetherCorp's polished halls. My personal life phrase at the edges. I have no children, no parents, only memories of my mother's lullabies and my father's calloused hands. Serena's warmth has cooled. Her eyes, once open, now flicker with secrets. I cling to routines. Morning runs through Palo Alto's eucalyptus groves, where the earth's pulse steadies me. AetherCorp's culture, once collaborative, now hums with corporate chill, executives in tailored suits. their smiles sharp as silicon. My team is my tether. Maria, our strategist, whose loyalty mirrors my father's steadfastness. Jax, a cyber rebel who sees code like poetry. And Leo, the 6-year-old son of a late colleague, whose uncanny insight haunts me. Leo's drawings, left on my desk, weave fractals that echo neural patterns, as if he sees what I cannot. My home, a smart mansion, feels like a surveillance cage, its AI hum a mockery of the wind through Oregon pines. I built AetherCorp to connect minds, but its scale, global servers. Billion-dollar stakes dwarfs my small-town roots. The Valley's tech giants loom, their innovations a relentless tide against my vision of ethical AI. This contrast gnaws at me. AetherCorp's neural tech, meant to heal, teeters on a knife's edge. Its power could manipulate as easily as mid. At our annual gala, I mingle with investors, their chatter a sterile hum. While Leo tugs my sleeve, whispering of dream liquid in my champagne. His words, innocent yet piercing, jolt me. My past taught me to trust intuition. My present demands I question everything. The gala chandeliers gleam like false stars, and Serena's smile feels like a mask. I recall my father's workshop, where every tool had a purpose, unlike this world of hidden agendas. Maria's glance across the room steadies me. Jax's smirk signals vigilance, but Leo's quiet watchfulness cuts deepest. The valley's night air, heavy with eucalyptus, carries a warning as old as the hills. Truth lies in the roots, not the branches. I built AetherCorp on ideals, but now, standing between my past simplicity and this corporate labyrinth, I sense a betrayal stirring, its roots deeper than I dared imagine. The gala's glow still lingered in my mind. Leo's warning about the dream liquid, a thorn in my thoughts. Days later, in AetherCorp's Silicon Valley boardroom, I met Jax Riley, a figure from a world I barely understood. A former NSA cyber operative, Jax carried the weight of secrets in his sharp eyes. His leather jacket a stark contrast to our polished suits. Maria had insisted we needed him, our neural tech was vulnerable, and Leo's cryptic words suggested sabotage. Jax's arrival felt like a gust through redwood groves, unsettling yet vital. He wasn't here for a job. He'd been pulled from retirement to fix a breach in our neural network. Detected hours after the gala, a rogue signal had spiked our servers, threatening to expose Project Chimera, our AI prototype. I hesitated. Could I trust this outsider? The boardroom's glass walls reflected my doubt, but the valley's distant hills whispered of courage, like my father facing a storm. Jax's first words cut deep. Your fiancée's champagne wasn't the only thing spiked. My pulse quickened. He'd traced the signal to my smart home, implicating Serena. This wasn't just a breach, it was personal. Jax wasted no time. He commandeered a workstation, his fingers dancing over keys with a poet's grace, unweaving the rogue code's threads. I watched, torn between awe and dread, as he exposed surveillance implants in my home's AI, devices I hadn't authorized. The breach wasn't external, it was intimate, rooted in my inner circle. Jax's world of covert ops clashed with AetherCorp's corporate sheen, yet his focus mirrored the precision of my Portland workshop days. He spoke of ghost signals, digital echoes that could manipulate neural data, and I saw Leo's fractal drawings in my mind, patterns warning of this very threat. Maria stood by, her loyalty a steady current, while I grappled with Serena's shadow. The stakes were clear. If Project Chimera leaked, our ethical AI vision would collapse. Jax's temporary role became our lifeline, his expertise a bridge over the abyss. The valley outside hummed with evening light, its oak standing sentinel, reminding me that truth often arrives in unfamiliar forms. I nodded to Jax, our fight had begun, and I sensed the earth shifting beneath us. His discovery reshaped my world. Jax revealed the implants were neural trackers, capable of mapping my thoughts during sleep, Serena's ritual, as Leo had called it. My home, once a sanctuary, was a cage woven by someone I loved. Jax's blunt warning, you're not just a CEO. You're a target, echoed like wine through Oregon pines. I recalled my mother's stories of hidden rivers, forces unseen yet powerful, and saw their truth in this digital betrayal. Jax's presence, though jarring, sparked clarity. I needed his rebellion to save AetherCorp. Maria's calm resolve bolstered me, and Leo's drawings, now pinned to my desk, felt like a map to the conspiracy's heart. The boardroom's sterile air carried a charge, as if the desert's vastness had seeped in, urging action. Jax wasn't just a fixer, he was a catalyst, pulling me from corporate complacency into a battle for truth. As night fell over Silicon Valley, the stars above whispered of unseen currents. In my Palo Alto home, I watched him sketch fractals, his small hands tracing patterns that mirrored neural code. I'd promised his late father, my friend, to protect him. But Project Veritas could endanger us both. If Damian's network reached as far as Jax suspected, nowhere was safe. I imagined Leo's drawings burning, his innocence caught in this digital war. My smart home's AI, now cleansed by Jax, felt hollow, its silence a mockery of the wind through Portland's forests. I called Maria, voicing my doubts. What if I fail him? She reminded me of my mother's stories. Heroes who face shadows to find light. Yet fear lingered, heavy as valley fog. Jax joined us, his voice blunt. You don't choose the fight, it chooses you. His words, raw as earth, stirred memories of my father's workshop, where every tool served a purpose. I paced, the weight of leadership pressing like granite. The stars outside, sharp in the California night, seemed to demand a choice. I wasn't just a CEO, I was a guardian of truths too fragile to lose. By dawn, resolve took root. In the lab, surrounded by Project Veritas's encrypted servers, I accepted the mission. Maria's relief was palpable, Jax's smirk a quiet approval. I'd lead the investigation, diving into AetherCorp's neural logs to unmask Damian's web. Leo's safety gnawed at me, but I'd shield him with every resource I had. The decision felt like carving my name into the valley's ancient oaks, a vow to endure. Project Veritas wasn't just a job, it was a reckoning, a chance to reclaim AetherCorp's soul. My parents' voices echoed. Truth is the only legacy worth building. As I signed the encrypted directive, the lab's glow felt like a hearth, warming the cold edges of my doubt. The desert's vastness, mirrored in the data streams before me, whispered of battles yet to come. I was all in, ready to unearth the roots of this conspiracy, knowing each step could shift the ground beneath us like sand in a Nevada storm. Project Veritas thrust me into AetherCorp's deepest underbelly, a classified server farm buried beneath Silicon Valley's gleam. The air hummed with quantum processors, their cold pulse a far cry from my Portland workshop's warmth. I, Ethan Thorne, was no longer just a CEO but a detective in a digital wilderness, tasked with tracing Damian's neural surveillance web. The interface, layered with neural logs and fractal algorithms, felt like navigating a starless sky. My team, Maria and Jax, flanked me, but the lab's technicians eyed us with suspicion, their whispers sharp as valley thorns. AetherCorp's corporate culture, once my creation, now felt glacial, its hierarchy a maze of ambition. My outdated coding skills struggled against the system's complexity, each error a reminder of my distance from the hands-on days of youth. The server farm's sterile glow mirrored the desert's starkness, its silence heavy with secrets. Early signs of resistance surfaced, a technician's deliberate lag in granting access, a subtle smirk from a senior analyst. Were they Damian's pawns? My father's voice echoed, trust the work, not the worker. The oaks outside, rooted in ancient soil, urged patience. But I sensed a shadow stirring within these walls. The challenges mounted swiftly. The neural logs, encrypted with quantum keys, defied my grasp, their patterns as elusive as wine through redwood canopies. Jax, at home in this chaos, decoded fragments, but even he cursed the system's labyrinthine design. Maria, ever the strategist, mapped our adversaries, executives loyal to my brother Victor, whose absence from meetings felt ominous. The technician's skepticism grew overt. One, a sharp-eyed woman named Clara, questioned my clearance, her tone cold as Sierra frost. I overheard her muttering about outsiders meddling in AetherCorp's core. This wasn't just resistance, it was sabotage, subtle but deliberate. A critical log file vanished during my analysis, reappearing altered, its timestamp skewed. Jax confirmed tampering, his scowl mirroring my unease. The server farm, meant to be our sanctuary. My voice steady but heart pounding, demanding transparency. She deflected, her eyes glinting with defiance. Maria's calm presence kept me grounded, but Jax's warning, "They're testing you," rang true. The altered logs pointed to a deeper manipulation, possibly tied to Project Somnus, the neural control scheme Jax had flagged. My parents' lessons, truth cut sharper than steel, drove me forward. But doubt gnawed. Was I outmatched? The stars above Silicon Valley, piercing the night, offered no answers. only a reminder of the vastness we faced. Each step in this new world felt like treading a fault line, the ground trembling with the weight of unseen enemies plotting in the dark. In AetherCorp's server farm, the neural logs mocked me, their encrypted patterns coiling like vines in a shadowed forest. I, Thorne, refused to falter. Days of grinding analysis, fueled by coffee and Leo's fractal drawings, led to a breakthrough. A hidden subroutine in the neural network, buried like a root beneath Silicon Valley's soil, was siphoning data to an external server. I traced its signature, a fractal pulse echoing Leo's sketches, and isolated it, my fingers trembling on the keys. Jax, his eyes wide, confirmed the find, the subroutine linked to Project Somnus. A neural manipulation scheme tied to Damian. My solution, a recursive algorithm I'd devised in my Portland days, neutralized the leak, saving Project Chimera's core. Maria's nod was a quiet triumph. But the technicians, led by Clara, watched with guarded stares. Their silence, sharp as desert wind, hinted at unease or allegiance to another. The server farm's hum felt like a pulse, its glow of fire kindled by truth. My parents' lessons, persist, adapt, had borne fruit, yet the valley's redwoods outside whispered of eyes unseen, watching my every move. My success was a beacon, but it cast shadows I couldn't yet name. The breakthrough rippled outward. AetherCorp's board, alerted by Maria, praised my ingenuity, their emails glowing with rare warmth. Project Veritas gained traction, its servers now fortified against further leaks. But the attention wasn't all kind. Clara's team grew colder. Their reports laced with subtle jabs, my methods were unorthodox, my leadership intrusive. I overheard whispers in the lab. He's digging too deep. Victor, my brother, sent a curt message, questioning my reckless approach. His words stung, heavy as Oregon rain, hinting at his ties to Damian's web. Jax flagged an anomaly, encrypted pings from Clara's terminal to an offsite node, suggesting she was reporting my moves. The server farm, once a battleground, now felt like a chessboard, each step drawing scrutiny. Leo's latest drawing, taped to my monitor, showed a star breaking free from a web, a sign of hope or warning. The valley's dusk, streaked with amber, murmured of balance. Every victory sows seeds of resistance. My skills had proven me, but they'd also painted a target, my silhouette stark against AetherCorp's gleaming facade. The dual-edged spotlight intensified. At a board briefing, I presented the subroutine's anatomy, my voice steady as I mapped its neural sabotage. The directors applauded, but their eyes flicked to Victor, whose silence was a storm brewing. Clara, present as a technical lead, challenged my data's integrity, her tone icy as Sierra snow. I countered with logs, my evidence unassailable, yet her defiance lingered, a ripple in the room's polished air. Jax later uncovered her pings traced to a Nevada facility, Damian's rumored base. My triumph had exposed a nerve, drawing allies and enemies alike. Maria's loyalty anchored me, her strategy sharpening our next steps, but Victor's distance and Clara's hostility signaled a tightening noose. The stars above Silicon Valley, sharp against the night, echoed my mother's tales of heroes who shone brightest under pressure, yet paid a price. My breakthrough had fortified Project Veritas, but it also woke the beast. Each line of code I'd unraveled felt like a thread pulled from a vast tapestry, its patterns still hidden in the dark. The server farm's victory left me exposed, Clara's defiance and Victor's silence tightening the air like a gathering storm. Seeking refuge, I invited Maria to dinner at a quiet Palo Alto bistro, its oak-paneled walls a faint echo of my father's workshop. I, Thorne, needed her steady presence more than ever. Over candlelit plates of grilled salmon, Maria shared her story. Raised in Montana's wide valleys, she'd learned strategy from her rancher father, who read the land like code. Her mother, a poet, taught her to see truth in silences. Losing them young, like me, forged her resolve to protect what mattered. I opened up about my Oregon roots, my parents' crash, my vow to build AetherCorp for good. The bistro's warmth, scented with rosemary and earth, felt like a hearth against Silicon Valley's chill. Maria's eyes, reflecting the flame, held a loneliness I recognized. Project Veritas bound us, but this moment wove something deeper. The valley's redwoods, visible through the window, stood sentinel, their roots a reminder of bonds that endure. As we spoke, I felt the desert's vastness fade, replaced by a shared strength. Fragile, yet unyielding. Our conversation turned to the fight ahead. Maria confessed her fear, not of failure, but of losing the ideals AetherCorp once held. I admitted my guilt over Leo, whose safety haunted me. His fractal drawings, now a talisman, sat folded in my pocket, their lines a map to truths we chased. Maria recalled her father's lesson. Courage grows where trust takes root. Her words, steady as Montana stone, mirrored my mother's tales of heroes who found light in shadow. We laughed, a rare release, over shared memories of stubborn parents and starry nights. The bistro's hum, like wind through valley pines, carried a warmth I'd forgotten. Maria's loyalty wasn't just professional. It was a promise, forged in loss and hope. I shared my first neural algorithm, sketched on napkins in Portland, and she countered with her first crisis plan, drafted under big sky stars. Our pasts, though miles apart, converged in this mission. The night outside, heavy with eucalyptus, whispered of time's fleeting grace. This bond, I realized, was my anchor against the conspiracy's tide. A root to cling to in the coming gale. As we left, the bistro's glow lingered in my chest. Maria's story, her Montana grit, her poet's heart, mirrored my own search for meaning. We paused by my car. The Silicon Valley sky ablaze with stars, and I spoke of my parents' dream, a world connected, not controlled. Maria nodded, her gaze fixed on the horizon, as if seeing her own lost valleys. Project Veritas wasn't just a fight. It was our legacy, a stand for the truths our families taught us. I thought of Leo, asleep at home, his drawings a bridge between our pasts and this battle. Maria's hand brushed mine, a fleeting gesture, but it carried the weight of shared purpose. The valley's oaks rustled, their leaves a chorus of endurance, urging us forward. My bond with Maria, forged over stories and salmon, was more than alliance. It was kinship, a fire to carry into the dark. As we parted, the stars above seemed to pulse, their light a vow we'd face Damian's web together. Rooted in trust, ready for whatever shadows lay ahead. Maria's warmth lingered, but the server farm's sterile pulse pulled me back to Project Veritas's grind. One morning, as Silicon Valley's fog draped the oaks outside, I found an anomaly in my office, a sleek, unmarked USB drive tucked beneath Leo's latest fractal drawing. Its presence felt like a stone dropped in a still pond, ripples spreading through my gut. I, Thorne, hesitated. Could it be a trap? Jax, summoned to my side, scanned it with a grim frown. The drive held a single file, an encrypted log detailing neural data transfers to a Nevada facility, stamped with Victor's digital signature. My brother's betrayal, once a suspicion, now stared me down like a coyote in the dusk. The log's metadata hinted at Project Somnus, the neural control scheme we'd glimpsed. Was Victor working for Damian? The office's glass walls, reflecting the valley's gray light, seemed to close in, their sheen a mockery of the open Oregon skies I'd known. My parents' lessons, truth hides in plain sight, urged caution. The USB's origin was anonymous, its delivery a silent screen. As I pocketed it, the redwoods beyond whispered of secrets buried deep, waiting to be unearthed. That evening, another sign emerged. In my Palo Alto home, now stripped of Serena's trackers, I noticed a faint hum from the AI hub. Jax, ever vigilant, tore into its circuits and found a micro camera. Its lens no larger than a pine needle, wired to an external feed. It wasn't Serena's work. Its design was newer, military grade, linked to the same Nevada node as the USB log. My home, my sanctuary, was still a cage, watched by unseen eyes. Leo, sketching nearby, paused, his eyes meeting mine as if sensing the intrusion. His drawing showed a web tightening around a star, its lines stark against the page. The violation cut deep, like frost on valley vines. I recalled my mother's tales of hidden currents, forces that shaped the world unnoticed. Jax's scan confirmed the camera had been active for days, capturing my every move. The conspiracy wasn't just corporate. It was personal, a blade aimed at my core. The night outside, heavy with eucalyptus, carried a warning. Each discovery peeled back a layer, but the heart of the beast remained shrouded. By week's end, a third signal sealed my dread. An anonymous email hit my encrypted inbox, its sender masked by quantum routing. Check the statue, it read, pointing to a decorative AI sculpture Serena had gifted me, still in my office. Jax and I dismantled it under the server farm's harsh lights, finding a neural tracker embedded in its core, advanced, pulsing with data to the Nevada facility. My trust in Serena, already shattered, crumbled further. This was Damian's work, his reach deeper than I'd feared. The tracker had mapped my thoughts, feeding them to Project Somnus's architects. Maria's steady gaze kept me grounded. But Leo's drawings, now a stack on my desk, screamed of a web closing in. The valley stars, sharp through the lab's skylight, echoed my father's voice. Face the dark, or it consumes you. Each signal, USB, camera, tracker, was a thread in a tapestry of deceit, its pattern vast as the desert, its maker watching from the shadows. The USB, camera, and tracker haunted me, each a splinter in my mind. In AetherCorp's server farm, under Silicon Valley's starlit canopy, I, Ethan Thorne, launched a secret probe into the Nevada facility's neural data transfers. The server logs, dense as Oregon's pine forests, demanded precision. Using my old Portland algorithms, I cross-checked data streams, mapping their flow like a river through desert stone. Jax monitored network pings, his expertise a beacon, while Maria audited access records, her Montana-honed instincts sharp. The logs revealed a shadow protocol, routing neural patterns through AetherCorp's core to an external grid, Project Somnus's backbone. My expertise in neural mapping, honed over years, decoded its intent, mass thought manipulation, not just surveillance. The discovery chilled me, its scale vast as the valley's redwoods. Leo's latest drawing, pinned above my terminal, showed a web swallowing a city, a child's vision of our stakes. The server farm's hum, like wind through valley oaks, carried a warning. We were peeling back a veil, but at what cost? My parents' voices, seek truth, no matter the shadow, drove me deeper. Though the desert silence beyond whispered of unseen eyes tracking our every move, our investigation intensified. I implemented a triple verification process, cross-referencing log timestamps with quantum encryption keys, a method I'd crafted in AetherCorp's early days. The Shadow Protocol's transactions traced to Victor's credentials. But a deeper dive exposed a second layer. Eleanor Vance, our global operations chief, had authorized backdoor access. Her name, a trusted pillar, now felt like a crack in the earth. Jax's network scans flagged encrypted comms between Eleanor and the Nevada node, their frequency spiking after my subroutine fix. Maria's audit uncovered a hidden server partition. Its data masked as routine diagnostics but pulsing with neural uploads. My expertise shown here, parsing the partition's fractal signatures, eerily like Leo's drawings, to confirm its role in Somnus. The conspiracy wasn't just Damian's. It was a syndicate, AetherCorp's elite betraying its soul. The valley's dusk, painting the lab's skylight amber, echoed my mother's tales of rivers carving canyons through time. Each log I unraveled felt like a stone lifted, revealing a darker current beneath. We were close. But the server farm's sterile air grew heavy, as if the desert itself held its breath. The larger truth emerged at midnight. My cross-checks pinpointed a neural data hub in Nevada. Its outputs feeding a global network, Somnus's endgame, controlling minds at scale. Eleanor's backdoors, Victor's signatures, and Damian's shadow of a tapestry of treason. Their motives tangled in power and greed. I presented our findings to Maria and Jax, my voice steady but heart racing. Leo's drawing, now a map, showed a star escaping the web of hope or delusion. My expertise had exposed the conspiracy's heart, but it also painted us as targets. Jax's scans caught a new ping. Someone in the server farm was live-streaming our session to Nevada. Maria's gaze hardened. We were compromised. The stars above, sharp as Sierra frost, mirrored my father's warning. Truth draws lightning. Our probe had cracked AetherCorp's facade. But the syndicate's reach, Eleanor, Victor, Damian, loomed like a storm over the valley. Each bite we traced was a step toward light, yet the desert's vastness whispered of a reckoning. Its sands shifting under the weight of our defiance. Our probe into Project Somnus had cracked AetherCorp's facade, but the cost came swiftly. In my Palo Alto home, as Silicon Valley's dawn painted the oaks gold, I found an unmarked envelope slipped under my door. Its contents froze me. A printed note, stark as desert stone, reading, Lee Veritas, or Leo pays. My heart seized. Leo, the 6-year-old I'd sworn to protect, was now a target. I, Ethan Thorne, felt the conspiracy's claws tighten, its reach piercing my sanctuary. The note's paper, rough like valley sagebrush, carried no signature, but its intent was clear. Damian's syndicate, with Victor and Eleanor, knew our moves. I checked on Leo, asleep with his fractal sketches. His innocence a fragile flame. My parents' voices, guard what matters, echoed, but fear not like wine through Oregon pines. Maria, alerted by my call, arrived, her Montana grit a steadying force. Her eyes, reflecting the morning light, brimmed with worry. They're scared, Ethan, she said, urging me to press on. The valley's redwoods loomed outside, their roots a vow to endure. Yet the note's threat hung heavy, a storm cloud over our fragile defiance. The threats escalated by noon. In AetherCorp's server farm, my terminal flashed with an anonymous message. A grainy video of Leo at his school, filmed from a distance. My breath caught, the server farm's hum a mocking pulse. The video's timestamp, yesterday, meant they were watching, waiting. Jax, scanning the message's source, traced it to a Nevada relay, confirming Damian's hand. My mind raced to my mother's tales of predators circling in the dark, their silence deadlier than their roar. Leo's latest drawing, taped to my desk, showed a star dimming in a web. His intuition or my dread? Maria's voice cut through. They want you to stop, but that's why we can't. Her concern, raw as valley earth, mirrored my father's resolve, yet the thought of Leo harm crushed me. I tightened security, assigning guards to Leo, but the server farm felt like a trap. Its circuits alive with unseen eyes. The valley's midday sun, blazing through the skylight, whispered of exposure. Each step toward truth drew the syndicate's fangs closer, their shadows lengthening across my world. Maria's urging anchored me. That evening, in my office, she mapped our next steps, her strategist's mind a compass. We're close. Ethan, Somnus's hub, is vulnerable. Don't let them break you. Her faith, steady as Montana's rivers, clashed with my fear for Leo. Another threat arrived. A hacked voicemail, distorted, warning. Back off, or the boy's next. My hands shook, the valley's dusk casting long shadows like bars. Jax confirmed the voicemail's Nevada origin, his scowl deepening. Maria's hand on my shoulder, firm as redwood bark, pulled me back. Leo needs you to fight, she said, her voice a lifeline. I thought of my parents' crash, my vow to build a legacy of truth. The stars above, sharp through my window, echoed their dream. The syndicate's threats, note, video, voicemail, were chains, but Maria's resolve and Leo's drawings were my shield. Each threat was a sign we'd struck a nerve, our probe shaking the desert's hidden roots. I nodded, ready to dive deeper, the valley's night a testament to battles fought in the dark. The threats against Leo fueled my resolve, each one a spark in a dry valley brush. In AetherCorp's server farm, under Silicon Valley starlit veil, I, Ethan Thorne, doubled down on Project Veritas. My fingers tracing neural logs like a riverbed's contours. Maria's urging, Leo needs you to fight, echoed, drowning out fear. Jax and I probed deeper, cross-referencing the Nevada hub's data with internal access records. A pattern emerged. Encrypted commands, masked as routine updates, bore Victor's digital fingerprint, diverting neural data to an external grid. My brother, once my confidant, was the traitor, his betrayal sharp as Oregon frost. The evidence, a log file timestamp during my subroutine fix, tied him to Project Somnus's neural uploads. I stared at the screen, heart heavy as desert stone, recalling my father's workshop. Every tool had a purpose, but Victor's had turned against us. Maria's audit confirmed his override codes, her Montana grit unwavering. The server farm's hum, like wind through redwoods, carried a truth. We'd found our Judas. Yet the valley's oaks outside whispered of a larger shadow, a rival force pulling Victor's strings, its roots deeper than AetherCorp's gleaming halls. Our probe uncovered the rival's silhouette. Jax's network scans traced Victor's commands to a shell company, Nexus Dynamics, a Nevada-based tech firm rumored to be Damian's front. Its public face, AI research, hid a darker aim. Weaponizing neural tech for control, Somnus's true endgame. I analyzed Nexus's patents, my neural mapping expertise parsing their fractal algorithms, eerily like Leo's drawings. They weren't innovating. They were stealing AetherCorp's core, aiming to overthrow our ethical AI vision. A leaked Nexus memo, slipped to us via an encrypted drop, outlined a plan to destabilize AetherCorp's board, with Victor as their inside man. Maria's voice, steady as valley earth, urged caution. They're playing for keeps, Ethan. The memo named Eleanor as a co-conspirator, her back doors enabling Nexus's data theft. My mother's tales of wolves circling in the dark rang true. Nexus wasn't just a rival, it was a predator. Its claws deep in our foundation. The server farm's glow, stark as Sierra snow, lit our path, but Leo's latest sketch, a star pierced by arrows, warned of danger. Each bite we traced felt like a step across a thinning ice sheet, the desert's silence roaring beneath. By week's end, the evidence solidified. I compiled a dossier, Victor's logs, Nexus's memo, Eleanor's overrides, all pointing to a coup to seize AetherCorp's neural tech. Jax's scans caught Nexus operatives pinging our servers, testing weaknesses. My expertise in cross-checking, honed in Portland's quiet nights, mapped their attack vectors, confirming their aim to crash our systems, paving the way for Somnus's global rollout. Maria's strategy session, held in my office, was grim. She saw Nexus's endgame as a corporate takeover masked as innovation. Victor's betrayal cut deepest, his ambition a mirror of Damian's greed. The valley's dusk, streaking the sky amber, echoed my parents' vow. Truth endures, but at a cost. Leo's drawings, now a stack on my desk, showed a web unraveling, a sign to press on. The syndicate's plot, with Nexus as its spear, loomed like a storm over Silicon Valley. Our evidence was a torch, but the server farm's air grew heavy, as if the desert itself braced for the reckoning we'd unleashed. Victor's betrayal and Nexus's shadow shook me, but a deeper fracture emerged in AetherCorp's server farm, where Silicon Valley's dawn cast long shadows like valley oaks. I, Ethan Thorne, faced a gut-wrenching suspicion. Maria, my closest ally, was flagged in a neural log. A hidden access code, buried in Project Somnus's data stream, bore her initials, timestamped during our Nevada probe. My heart sank. Maria, whose Montana grid had anchored me, now seemed a potential traitor. Jax's scan confirmed the code's authenticity, his eyes avoiding mine. The server farm's hum, stark as desert wind, amplified my doubt. Protocol demanded I report her, locking her out of Veritas. But my intuition, honed in Oregon's pine-scented nights, screamed otherwise. Maria's dinner confessions, her poet mother's truths, clashed with this cold evidence. Leo's latest drawing, taped to my terminal, showed a star split by a web, trust, or treachery. My parents' lessons, hard over haste, urged pause. The valley's redwoods outside, rooted through storms, whispered of faith tested by fire. I faced a choice: follow AetherCorp's rigid rules or trust the bond we'd forged, risking everything on a woman whose loyalty I could no longer be sure of. The suspicion gnawed deeper. Maria's audit logs, which I rechecked with my Portland-honed cross-verification, showed anomalies. Her terminal had accessed Somnus's hub hours after our strategy sessions. Yet her actions, urging me to fight, guarding Leo, felt genuine, like Valley Earth underfoot. Jax pushed for protocol, citing NSA rules. Cut the risk, Ethan. His logic, sharp as Sierra frost, clashed with my instinct. I confronted Maria in my office, her eyes meeting mine with a steadiness that disarmed me. If you think I'm with them, prove it, she said, her voice raw as Montana stone. Her defiance echoed my mother's tales of heroes who stood firm under scrutiny. But the logs didn't lie. Or did they? Victor's betrayal had taught me trust was fragile, and Nexus's reach could forge any trap. Leo's drawings, now a stack on my desk, showed a web loosening, a plea to believe. The valley's midday sun, blazing through the glass, exposed every crack in my resolve. I wavered, torn between AetherCorp's playbook and the intuition that had carried me from Portland's workshops to this digital battlefield, where truth hid in the shadows of code. I chose intuition. Ignoring protocol, I kept Maria in Veritas, assigning her to a decoy task while Jax and I probed her code's origin. My heart pounded. The server farm's glow a crucible testing my faith. Hours later, Jax traced the access code to a spoofed terminal. Nexus had framed Maria, planting her initials to sow discord. Relief flooded me. Heavy as Oregon rain, but guilt followed. I doubted my staunchest ally. Maria, unaware of my test, worked on her loyalty a beacon. I thought of my father's workshop, where trust was carved like wood, enduring through flaws. The valley's dusk, painting the sky amber, echoed his wisdom. Truth demands risk. Leo's drawing, now a map, showed a star free of the web. My choice had preserved our bond. Nexus's ruse, meant to break us, had only sharpened our resolve. The syndicate, Victor, Eleanor, Damian, loomed larger, their traps as vast as the desert. Each step forward felt like crossing a fault line, the server farm's air alive with the promise of truth and the peril of betrayal. Maria's innocence restored. We pressed deeper into Project Veritas, but Silicon Valley's server farm held a truth sharper than Valley Thorns. I, Ethan Thorne, had pinned Victor as the mastermind behind Project Somnus. His Nexus ties damning. A late-night decryption changed everything. Jax, sifting through a neural log from the Nevada hub, uncovered a master key, not Victor's, but Eleanor Vance's, our global operations chief. Her encrypted directives, hidden like roots beneath desert stone, orchestrated Somnus's data flows, not Victor's. The twist cut deep. Eleanor, AetherCorp's trusted pillar, was the true puppet master, not my brother. Victor was her dupe, his ambition a tool for her vendetta. A decrypted memo revealed her motive, revenge against my father, whose neural tech vision sidelined her decades ago, fueled by bitter resentment. I stared at the server farm's glow, cold as Oregon frost, my heart reeling. My parents' legacy, AetherCorp's soul, was her target, Somnus a weapon to erase our work. The valley's redwoods loomed outside, their silence a warning of betrayal's depth. Leo's latest drawing, a star crushed by a shadow, mirrored my dread. Maria's steady gaze urged me on, but the desert's vastness whispered of a foe far crueler than we'd imagined. Eleanor's treachery ran deep. My neural mapping expertise, honed in Portland's quiet nights, parsed her directives. She'd engineered Somnus to sabotage AetherCorp's ethical AI, redirecting neural data to Nexus for profit and power. Her revenge wasn't just personal, it was annihilation, erasing my father's dream to claim her own legacy. Jax's scans traced her comms to Nexus's Nevada base, confirming she'd manipulated Victor and Clara, framing Maria to distract us. The server farm's hum, like wind through valley pines, carried a chill. Eleanor had access to AetherCorp's core, her betrayal a poison in its veins. I recalled my mother's tales of snakes hiding in plain sight, their venom silent until struck. Leo's drawings, now a stack on my desk, showed a web collapsing, a sign to act. Maria's Montana grit hardened our resolve, but Eleanor's high rank made her untouchable without ironclad proof. The valley's dusk, streaking the skylight amber, echoed my parents' vow. Truth cuts deeper than vengeance. Each log we cracked felt like a stone lifted, exposing a darker intent beneath Eleanor's polished facade, her shadow vast as the desert sands. The twist reshaped our fight. I compiled Eleanor's directives, cross-checked with my Portland algorithms, building a dossier to expose her. Her motive, revenge for my father's rejection, cloaked in Nexus's greed, threatened AetherCorp's collapse. Victor's role, though treacherous, was secondary, his logs manipulated by Eleanor's overrides. Jax flagged a new ping. Eleanor's terminal was live, uploading Somnus's final protocols to Nevada. My heart raced, the server farm's glow a crucible for truth. Maria urged a boardroom strike. But I hesitated. Eleanor's influence ran deep, her allies legion. Leo's drawing, now a map, showed a star breaking free, a call to confront her. The valley stars, sharp through the lab's glass, mirrored my father's resolve: face the dark, or it consumes you. Eleanor's vendetta, a fire burning since my parents' era, aimed to torch AetherCorp's future. Our evidence was a blade. But the syndicate, Eleanor, Nexus, Damian, loomed like a storm, their roots entwined in a desert older than our fight, ready to swallow us whole. Eleanor's vendetta exposed. The server farm became a snare, its Silicon Valley glow a trap under Valley Oak's watchful gaze. I, Ethan Thorne, sensed the noose tightening as Nexus operatives, tipped by Eleanor's pings, hacked AetherCorp's security grid. Alarms blared, locking us in the lab, me, Maria, Jax, and Leo, whom I'd brought for safety. My heart raced, the air sharp as desert wind. Jax's fingers flew, counter-hacking the grid to unlock an exit, his NSA grid a lifeline. I accessed internal logs, my Portland algorithms sifting neural data to trace Eleanor's latest upload. A Somnus protocol to crash our servers. The console's hum, like Oregon pines swaying, steadied me, but Leo's wide eyes, clutching his fractal sketch, cut deep. Maria, her Montana resolver rock, barricaded the door as Nexus drones buzzed outside, their red eyes piercing the skylight. My parents' lessons, move swift, think clear, guided my hands. The valley's redwoods, rooted beyond the glass, whispered of survival, but we were hunted, our every move watched by Eleanor's syndicate. Each bite I pulled felt like a step through a thinning forest, the desert's shadow closing in, ready to swallow us whole. We fled through a service tunnel, its damp walls echoing the valley's hidden springs. Jax led, hacking door codes with a portable rig, his curses soft as valley fog. I carried Leo, his small frame trembling, his latest drawing, a star-dodging claws, crumpled in my grip. Maria covered our rear, her flashlight slicing the dark like Montana starlight. Nexus's drones trailed us, their hum a predator's growl. I tapped a wall panel, accessing AetherCorp's backup network to divert power, dimming the tunnel's lights to mask our path. My neural expertise shone, rerouting data to slow Eleanor's hack, buying seconds. The tunnel's chill, heavy as Sierra frost, pressed against us. But my mother's tales of foxes outwitting wolves spurred me on. Leo's quiet hum, a melody from his late father, grounded me. The Syndicate's trap, Eleanor's protocols. Nexus's drones was a web tightening, but our escape, a desperate dance, wove through its threads. The valley's earth, pulsing beneath, urged flight, yet each step echoed the desert's warning. Freedom came at a cost, its price written in the stars above. We emerged in a maintenance yard, Silicon Valley's night sky ablaze with stars like Oregon's open fields. Nexus operatives, alerted by Eleanor's feed, closed in, their flashlights cutting the dark. Jax hacked a security gate, its grind a defiant roar, while I uploaded a decoy signal to AetherCorp's grid. Masking our location, Maria guided Leo to a company van, her voice steady as valley stone. I lingered, accessing a nearby terminal to pull Eleanor's final Somnus code, my fingers a blur. The data a lifeline to expose her. A drone's beam grazed me, sharp as valley thorns, but I dodged, heart pounding. My father's resolve: stand firm, act fast, burn bright. The yard's gravel crunched underfoot, a desert's echo, as we piled into the van, Jax at the wheel. Leo's drawing, now unfolded, showed a star rising, a fragile hope. The Syndicate's hunt, Eleanor. Victor, Nexus, loomed vast, their trap a storm over the valley. Our escape, a fleeting victory, carried us into the night, the desert's silence a vow to fight another day. Its roots deep as our defiance. Our escape from the server farm left us battered, Silicon Valley's night a cloak, as we hid in a safe house nestled among valley oaks. I, Ethan Thorne, gathered my family, Maria, Jax, and Leo to plot our counterattack against Eleanor's syndicate. The safe house's wooden walls, warm as Oregon pines, steadied my racing heart. We pored over Eleanor's Somnus code, stolen during our flight, my neural expertise parsing its fractal sabotage. Maria, her Montana grid a beacon, proposed a boardroom showdown, exposing Eleanor at AetherCorp's annual meeting. Jax, ever the rebel, suggested a digital strike, broadcasting our evidence to shareholders. Leo, clutching his latest drawing, a star shattering a web, watched silently, his intuition our guide. I compiled our dossier, Victor's logs, Eleanor's directives, Nexus's memo. Each a stone in our sling against Goliath. My parents' voices, truth is a fire, urged boldness. The valley's redwoods, visible through the window, stood firm, their roots a vow to endure. We worked through dawn, the safe houses glow a hearth against the desert's chill, each plan a thread in a tapestry to unmask Eleanor's vendetta and save AetherCorp's soul. Our evidence grew ironclad. I cross-checked Eleanor's protocols with Portland algorithms, confirming Somnus's aim, crashing AetherCorp's neural grid to empower Nexus's control. Maria scoured board records, unearthing Eleanor's secret Nexus stock, her revenge twined with greed. Jax hacked AetherCorp's archives, pulling encrypted comms between Eleanor and Damian, proving their syndicate's depth. Leo's drawings, spread on the table, mapped our path, his star now free, a child's hope igniting ours. We planned a dual strike. I'd present the dossier at the board meeting, while Jax prepped a live stream to bypass Eleanor's allies. Maria's strategy, sharp as valley stone, anticipated resistance. Victor's silence, Clara's sabotage. My mother's tales of rivers carving canyons spurred me on. Truth, though slow, reshapes the world. The safe house's air, heavy with coffee and resolve, echoed Montana's open skies. Where Maria's father read the land, Leo's quiet hum, a melody from his late father, wove us tighter. The valley's dawn, painting the oaks gold, whispered of rebirth. Our plan, a fragile seed, took root, its growth a defiance against the desert's shadow looming over AetherCorp. By noon, our counterattack was set. I rehearsed my boardroom speech, each word a blade to cut Eleanor's web. Jax rigged a secure stream, his NSA tricks shielding us from Nexus's hacks. Maria drafted a shareholder alert, her words steady as redwood bark, framing Eleanor's betrayal as AetherCorp's reckoning. Leo, sketching beside me, added a star rising over a broken web, his vision, our mission. I thought of my parents' crash, my vow to build a legacy of connection, not control. The dossier, now complete, held Eleanor's directives, Victor's logs, Nexus's patents, proof of a syndicate bent on AetherCorp's ruin. The safe house's warmth, like valley earth, grounded me, but fear for Leo lingered. His safety my anchor. The valley's midday sun, blazing through the pines, echoed my father's resolve. Stand tall or fall. Our planned boardroom reveal. Digital broadcast was a torch against Eleanor's storm. As we finalized details, the desert silence beyond the safe house roared, a reminder of Nexus's reach, its roots deep as the stars above. Our counterstrike a spark in a vast, unforgiving night. AetherCorp's boardroom, perched above Silicon Valley sprawl, was a crucible under Valley Oak's gaze. I, Ethan Thorne, stood before the directors, my heart pounding like desert wind, ready to expose Eleanor Vance's treachery. The annual meeting buzzed, shareholders watching via Jax's secure stream. Its reach a wildfire. Eleanor, poised in her tailored suit, struck first, projecting forged logs claiming I'd siphon neural data to Nexus for profit. Her voice, smooth as Sierra frost, painted me a traitor, her false evidence, doctored timestamps, fake comms, a venomous web. The board gasped, their eyes sharp as valley thorns, Victor's silence a heavy shadow. My parents' lessons, truth cuts deeper, steadied me. Maria, at my side, her Montana grit a rock, nodded subtly. Leo, safe with guards, lingered in my mind. His latest drawing, a star slicing a web, my talisman. I stepped forward, the boardroom's glass walls reflecting the valley's redwoods, their roots a vow to endure. Jax's stream hummed, broadcasting globally, a digital torch against Eleanor's lies. My dossier, clutched tight, held the real data, Eleanor's somnus protocols, Victor's manipulated logs, Nexus's memo. The desert's silence roared beyond, urging me to strike, its stars a witness to our reckoning. I countered with precision. My neural expertise, honed in Portland's quiet nights, guided my presentation, projecting Eleanor's decrypted directives, code to crash AetherCorp's grid for Nexus's gain. I revealed her Nexus stock, her comms with Damian. Each slide a stone hurled at her facade. The boardroom's air, heavy as valley earth, shifted. Directors leaned forward, their doubt cracking. Eleanor scoffed, unveiling a forged recording of me plotting with Nexus, her trap tight as Oregon pines in a storm. I parried, playing Jax's intercepted audio, Eleanor's voice clear as Montana starlight. Ordering Somnus's rollout. My logs, cross-checked with Portland algorithms, exposed her back doors, their fractal signatures. Leo's drawings come alive, damning her vendetta against my father's legacy. Maria's shareholder alert, sent mid-meeting, flashed on screens, framing Eleanor's greed. The valley's midday sun, blazing through the glass, echoed my mother's tales, truth, like rivers, carves through stone. Jax's stream surged, viewers worldwide riveted, YouTube's pulse amplifying our stand. Eleanor's eyes, cold as desert stone, faltered, her web unraveling under the weight of our evidence, the boardroom a battlefield where truth fought to breathe. The confrontation peaked. Eleanor doubled down, her forged code flashing, accusing me of planting false data. Her allies, Clara, a few directors, nodded, their loyalty a noose. I unleashed our final proof, a live feed of Nexus's Nevada hub, hacked by Jax, showing Somnus's neural uploads in real time, Eleanor's master key active. The boardroom erupted, directors shouting, Victor's face ashen. My voice, steady as redwood bark, laid bare her motive. Revenge for my father's rejection, a fire burning since AetherCorp's dawn. Leo's drawing, taped to my notes, showed a star free, a vision fulfilled. The valley's light, golden through the windows, mirrored my father's resolve, stand tall or fall. Jax's stream, now viral, carried our truth globally, a beacon against Nexus's shadow. Eleanor's facade crumbled, her lies exposed like sand in a desert gust. The board moved to suspend her, their vote a crack in the syndicate's armor. Maria's hand brushed mine, a quiet triumph. The desert's vastness, pulsing beyond, whispered of battles won but wars unfinished, its stars a vow to carry on, our fight etched in Silicon Valley's enduring earth. The boardroom's air crackled, Silicon Valley's redwoods a silent jury beyond the glass. I, Ethan Thorne, faced Eleanor Vance's final gambit, her suspension teetering as she rallied allies in AetherCorp's annual meeting. Her voice, sharp as Valley Thorns, accused me of fabricating the Nexus feed, claiming it was my code, not hers, driving Somnus. Directors wavered, their eyes darting like desert hawks. Victor's silence a storm brewing. My resolve, forged in Oregon's pine-scented nights, held firm. I countered with logic, dissecting her claim. Somnus's fractal signatures matched her directives. Not mine, a pattern my Portland algorithms verified. Jax's live stream, pulsing globally, displayed real-time neural logs, their timestamps unassailable. Maria, her Montana grid a shield, fed me data via earpiece, her voice steady as Valley Stone. Leo's drawing, a star blazing through a web, burned in my mind, his faith my anchor. Eleanor's allies, led by Clara, pushed a forged audit. But I parried, citing AetherCorp's triple verification process, my expertise a blade. The valley's midday sun, golden through the windows, echoed my mother's tales. Truth, like rivers, outlasts stone. Our battle of wits, streamed to millions, was a fire against the desert's shadow. Eleanor escalated, her strategy a coiled viper. She unveiled a doctored shareholder vote, alleging board support for my ouster, her allies nodding like valley sagebrush in a gale. The room tensed, the stream's chat erupting, YouTube's pulse amplifying the stakes. I leaned on my neural mapping skills, cross-referencing her vote with AetherCorp's blockchain ledger, exposing tampered entries, her digital footprint clear as Montana starlight. Maria's shareholder alert, now viral, swayed doubters, its data echoing my father's resolve. Stand tall or fall. I challenged Eleanor to run a live diagnostic on Somnus's hub, knowing her key would trigger a failsafe, exposing her. She hesitated, her eyes cold as Sierra frost, but pressed the command, a fatal misstep. The screens flared, displaying her master key's neural sabotage. Nexus's Nevada hub laid bare. The boardroom erupted, director shouting, Clara's defiance crumbling. Leo's star, free in a sketch, shone in my heart. The valley's light, blazing through the glass, whispered of endurance, its redwoods a testament to roots that hold. My logic, unyielding, turned Eleanor's web to dust. The desert's silence a vow of victory. Victory emerged through resolve. Eleanor, cornered, lashed out, accusing me of hacking her key, a desperate ploy. I countered with Jax's intercepted comms, her voice ordering Somnus's rollout, synced with the hub's logs. My presentation, a tapestry of evidence, directives, stock, comms, woven airtight case. My Portland-honed cross-checks its thread. The board voted, suspending Eleanor and Victor, their syndicate, Nexus, Damian, reeling. Maria's hand gripped mine, her Montana strength a quiet triumph. The stream, now a global beacon, carried our truth, its YouTube surge a digital wildfire. Leo, safe with guards, was my why, his drawings a map to this moment. The valley's dusk, painting the sky amber, echoed my parents' dream. A world connected, not controlled. Eleanor's defeat, a crack in the desert stone, was ours, but Damian's shadow lingered, vast as the stars above. My resolve, like valley earth, held firm. Each word spoken a seed for AetherCorp's rebirth. The boardroom's glow, warm as Oregon pines, was a hearth, our victory a spark against the syndicate's storm. Its roots deep, but no match for our unyielding light. Eleanor's defeat in the boardroom left AetherCorp's air electric, Silicon Valley's redwood standing sentinel beyond the glass. I, Ethan Thorne, moved swiftly to end Project Somnus's threat, my resolve firm as Valley Stone. The board's vote had suspended Eleanor and Victor, but she fled, her allies scrambling. Jax's live stream, still viral, guided federal agents to her office, where Maria and I cornered her. Her eyes, cold as Sierra frost, held no remorse, but my Portland-honed logic cross-checked logs. Her voice on Jax's audio sealed her fate. Agents apprehended her, her vendetta against my father's legacy crumbling like desert sand. I accessed AetherCorp's neural grid. My expertise neutralizing Somnus's sabotage code, its fractal pulses, Leo's drawings made digital, now inert. The server farm's hum, warm as Oregon pines, signaled safety. Leo, reunited with me, clutched his sketch, a star soaring free, his innocence restored. Maria's Montana grit, a quiet triumph, rebuilt trust with the board, her shareholder alerts cementing our truth. The valley's dusk, painting the sky amber, echoed my mother's tales. Truth, like roots, holds fast. Our fight, broadcast globally, was a beacon, the desert's silence a vow of peace reclaimed. The crisis's resolution deepened. Victor, shaken by Eleanor's manipulation, confessed his role, his ambition a pawn in her game. I spared him prosecution. His remorse a fragile bridge to my parents' dream of family. Jax's NSA tricks purged Nexus's backdoors from our servers, his scowl softening as shareholders applauded. I rewrote AetherCorp's neural protocols, ensuring ethical AI, my father's vision reborn. The board, once fractured, rallied, trust restored through transparency, Maria's strategy, my evidence. Leo's hope. Federal probes targeted Nexus's Nevada hub, Damian's shadow retreating, though not vanquished. Leo's drawings, now framed in my office, mapped our journey. Each star of victory over the syndicate's web. The valley's night, heavy with eucalyptus, whispered of endurance, its oaks a chorus of survival. My team, Maria's loyalty, Jax's rebellion. Leo's intuition was AetherCorp's heart, their trust my anchor. The stream's YouTube surge, millions strong, carried our story, a digital wildfire for truth. My mother's voice, build what lasts, rang clear. The server farm's glow a hearth, our crisis resolved, its embers a promise to guard against the desert's lurking shadows. Restoration took root. I addressed AetherCorp's employees, my voice steady as valley earth, pledging a future free of Somnus's taint. Clara, Eleanor's ally, resigned, her sabotage exposed by Jax's logs. Shareholders, moved by Maria's alerts, funded Project Veritas, a transparency initiative born from our fight. Leo, sketching beside me, drew a star over a mended web. His vision, our legacy. I thought of my parents' crash, my vow to connect, not control, now fulfilled. The valley's stars, sharp through my window, mirrored my father's resolve. Truth endures, its cost a forge for growth. AetherCorp's neural grid, cleansed, hummed with potential, its data a river for healing, not harm. Maria's hand, warm as Montana plains, rested on mine, our bond a root against future storms. The desert's vastness, pulsing beyond, held Damian's threat, but our victory, Eleanor's fall, Somnus's end, was a crack in his armor. The global stream, a YouTube monument, etched our stand in digital stone, its light a seed for AetherCorp's rebirth, grown from Silicon Valley's enduring soil, our trust aflame against the night. In AetherCorp's quiet office, Silicon Valley's redwoods casting long shadows, I, Ethan Thorne, paused to reflect. Eleanor's fall a milestone, but not the end. This journey, Nevada's vault, Leo's drawings. Maria's loyalty taught me trust is a fragile root, nurtured through fire. My parents' deaths, a wound at 16, shaped my vow to build AetherCorp for connection, not control. Their Oregon pines whispered in my choices, from sparing Victor to shielding Leo. Justice, I learned, isn't vengeance, it's a river, carving truth through stone, as my mother's tales foretold. Eleanor's vendetta, born of resentment, showed ethics falter when pride overtakes purpose. I recalled my father's workshop, each tool a testament to care. AetherCorp's neural grid, now cleansed. Mirrors that craft. Leo's latest sketch, framed beside me, a star mending a web, echoed his father's hope, a light I'd sworn to guard. The valley's dusk, amber through the glass, held Montana's open skies, where Maria's grit took root. This fight, streamed to millions, was our story, its YouTube surge a seed for change. The desert's silence beyond, vast as my grief, urged me to honor trust, its roots deeper than any syndicate's shadow. The path revealed ethics as a compass. Serena's betrayal, Victor's fall, Eleanor's greed, each a mirror of choices gone astray. My Portland nights, sketching algorithms under starlight, taught me technology amplifies intent for healing or harm. Project Veritas, born from this crucible, is my answer: transparency over control. A legacy for Leo. I thought of my mother's lullabies, her voice weaving courage into loss. Maria's bond, forged over salmon, carries that song. Justice, I saw, demands sacrifice. Sparing Victor cost me pride but saved family, a truth my father's calloused hands would bless. The valley's oaks, steadfast through storms, mirrored our team. Jax's rebellion, Leo's intuition. Maria's resolve, a forest of trust against Nexus's desert. The global stream, a YouTube wildfire, showed change begins with shared truth, each viewer a root in AetherCorp's rebirth. Damian's shadow lingers, but my parents' dream connection, not conquest, lights the way. The office's glow, warm as valley earth, held their memory, my journey a tapestry of loss and love. Its threads vow to build what endures against the desert's unforgiving night. This reflection turned to change. Eleanor's sabotage, Nexus's greed. Revealed technology's dual edge, a tool for freedom or chains. My fight wasn't just AetherCorp's. It was for a world where neural tech uplifts, not enslaves. Leo's drawings, a child's map, taught me innocence sees what ambition blinds. I recalled my parents' crash, my teenage vow under Oregon stars, to make meaning from loss. Maria's Montana plains, Jax's defiance. Leo's hope, they're my family now, their trust my strength. Ethics, I realized, is action. Project Veritas, funded by shareholders, will guard AetherCorp's soul. The valley stars, sharp through my window, echoed my father's resolve. Truth is a forge, shaping what lasts. The desert's vastness, pulsing beyond, holds Damian's threat, but our victory, Somnus's end. Eleanor's fall is a crack in his stone. The YouTube stream, a digital monument, binds us to millions, its light a call for change. My journey, from Nevada's chaos to this quiet office, is a seed. Grown in Silicon Valley soil, its roots deep as love, trust, and justice, blooming against the night's unyielding dark. AetherCorp's office, bathed in Silicon Valley's dawn. Felt like a new beginning, the valley's redwoods whispering of roots unbroken. I, Ethan Thorne, stood as its guardian, no longer just a CEO but a mentor. Guiding Project Veritas to ensure neural tech serves humanity. Eleanor's fall and Somnus's end were victories, but Damian's shadow lingered, a desert storm on the horizon. I trained AetherCorp's engineers, my Portland honed algorithms a map for transparency, Leo's drawings, stars mending webs, my inspiration. Maria, my anchor, grew closer. Our bond forged in Montana's grit and Oregon's pines now a quiet promise, her hand lingering on mine at meetings. The global stream, a YouTube wildfire, had sparked a movement. Millions rallying for ethical AI. My parents' dream connection, not control, lived in this work, their loss a forge for my resolve. The valley's oaks, steadfast through time, urged me onward. Their earth a testament to growth. This wasn't the end. Damian's Nevada hub loomed, a new journey beckoning. I stood ready, my team, Maria, Jax, Leo, my strength, the desert silence a call to lead. If you believe in truth, join us. Our fight is just beginning, its roots deep as Silicon Valley's enduring light. The journey reshaped me. I mentored Leo. His fractal sketches now code for Veritas's neural safeguards, his innocence a light against Damian's web. Maria and I dined often, her Montana tales blending with my Oregon memories. Our laughter a hearth against the valley's chill. Her strategist's mind sharpened AetherCorp's path. Our closeness, once professional, now personal, a spark under starlit oaks. Jax, ever defiant, led our cyber defenses, his NSA grit a shield for Veritas. The YouTube stream's legacy, millions strong, fueled global chapters of our cause, each viewer a seed for change. My father's workshop, where tools carved purpose, lived in my leadership, each lesson a bridge from past to future. Damian's threat, vast as Nevada's sands, hinted at battles ahead, Nexus's remnants, new traitors. Yet my mother's lullabies, weaving courage through loss, steadied me. The valley's dawn, golden through my window, echoed their vow, build what lasts. This open road, paved with trust, stretched beyond AetherCorp, its end unseen but bright. Join us, stand for justice, our story grows, its roots afire against the desert's unyielding night. This new chapter called all. As AetherCorp's mentor, I spoke globally, my voice on YouTube urging ethical tech. Leo's star my emblem. Maria, now my confidant, planned Veritas's expansion, her touch a warmth like valley earth. Our bond, unspoken but deep, hinted at a future beyond the fight, a seed beneath redwood shade. The valley stars, sharp as organs, held my parents' dream, a world united, not divided. Damian's shadow, pulsing in the desert, was a challenge, not a chain. Our team, forged in crisis, stood ready. Jax's scans hinted at Nexus's regrouping, a storm brewing. But Veritas's light, millions of voices, outshone it. My journey, from Nevada's chaos to this dawn, taught me trust is earned, justice carved, change grown. The YouTube call, if you believe in truth. Follow, bound us to a cause greater than AetherCorp, its roots vast as Montana plains. Step with us, fight for a world where technology lifts, not binds, our path, like Silicon Valley's enduring soil. Stretches forward, its stars a guide through the desert's endless dark.